Hey YouTube, it's Coolio, and I'm doing my first black and white Wi-Fi battle. Pretty excited, and it's against Lutafuu the Soul. And okay, so he starts out with a Durant, and I start out with a Golurk. And Durant is pretty cool. I'm actually gonna make one, try to use one in the future. But I really like Golurk. He has a stat spread that's really similar to Machamp, so and he has no guard and dynamic punch, so like he's really similar. I don't think he's as good, but he has different type coverage. So I start out with a Machamp like Golurk, and I got pretty lucky with the crit on the dynamic punch and the confusion first turn. So I got off to a really good start, which is a little unfortunate for Lutafuu. But then he goes into a Jellicant, and I'm predicting the Scald for the burn and the super effective water. So I go into Natore, or I guess the English name is Fairthorn, and so I go for he burns me, and then I go for the Leech Seed, and he switches into Rapushin or Conkeldurr, whichever version you prefer. So that's nice. I got Leech Seed on him, and I know he's gonna bulk up or something. So I go back into Golurk because I'm predicting the bulk up set obviously. So that means that he can either hit Golurk, since Golurk is Ghost type, with Stone Edge or Payback. So Payback is super effective, but I know I'm gonna be able to hit first, and I get the confusion with Dynamic Punch, and then he hits himself again, and that was really fortunate for me. So it's kind of a lifesaver. But okay, so I get the lefties back, and everything's going pretty well. And I guess he doesn't want to have to handle the confusion, so he just goes back into his Jellicent while I go for the Earthquake, because it's my strongest move. It's stab, ground, standard Earthquake is Earthquake's probably one of my favorite moves. But yeah, so I'm doing really good damage to him, but he can recover, so that's kind of annoying. I guess I'm doing a little more than he can recover, which is fortunate for me. But yeah, Jellicent is a pretty cool guy. I think he looks pretty cool. He's got like this weird foamy thing around his face. Not really sure what it is. He actually kind of looks like an alien. But anyway, I figured he'd go for the Scald. That's why I brought him in. I mean, that's why I brought him in the first place. So I go into Medusa, or my Hydreigon, and I really love this guy. I mean, Dragon and Dark type. I mean, they give him a lot. He has a decent number of weaknesses, but he also is resistant to a lot of things. Like the elements, Dark, Ghost. I mean, Psychic. It's really important for me because just based on the rest of my team, he has really good coverage. Plus, he has Levitate, and I mean, Modest, Choice Specs, Draco Meteor. I mean, it can just wreck through anything that you put in its path. So I really love that guy. He's a lot of fun to use. But I predicted the close combat from the Terrakion, and so I went into Gengar. And since I was gonna be faster, I knew he was probably gonna have to switch. So I put up a sub, just hoping he'd switch, which he did. And he goes into his Reinclus, which is I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Reinclus is really cool. The only thing is that like it's slow, and since I'd already gotten a sub up, he couldn't really do anything about it. I mean, he took that stab super effective Shadow Ball really well, but at the same time, he switched in, so he couldn't really do anything. So he had to switch out again. Goes into his own Ferrothorn or Natore, whatever you want to call it, and so I go for the Focus Blast, and I hit, and that does a lot of damage. But it kind of shows how strong Natore is that he survived it. And then oh yeah, he breaks my sub. But here, I went for another substitute just to see if he would be careless, saying like, oh, he's gonna kill me, so I might as well just pick a random move. And I guess he did that. Must have just been carelessness, because he should have been going for the Power Whip again to keep the pressure on me to attack, but he didn't. So I got another free sub up, and I mean, it really killed him because he didn't really have anything with like priority or choice scarf or anything that could outspeed Gengar, and because of that, with the substitutes up, I was just able to go through his team and really put a huge dent in it. With this Gengar, Gengar is so good. He's been around since the beginning, and he's always been, a reliable attacker. So after I kill the Reuniclus, he has to go into Terracon, and I have the super effective Focus Blast, obviously. So he can't take that since that's an attacker. And then he goes into his Conkeldurr, which can take the surprisingly can take the Shadow Ball. I guess it is pretty bulky. But Conkeldurr is pretty awesome. Between Bulk Up and Mach Punch and Drain Punch, he's so hard to kill. But I had my sub up, so even though he could hit me, he couldn't quite take me out. And able to go with the safe choice. I guess I could have gone for the Shadow Ball too, but I just go for the T-Bolt to take him out, and then he had to forfeit. So it was a good game. Hoping to post more videos. Thanks, guys.